Too big in London.
Your mum reckon now?
Then mum will be like,
Does your mum ever feel like... Did you? Oh, perfect. I did. Well, she was all clubbing. Then I might know. I saw her clubbing, so I was like, that is almost trying not to be. Where are you?
Oh, nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah, of you. I mean, I went to Wimbledon, I was like, I was not expecting that.
Oh, take that.
Hello and welcome to the finals weekend of the 2019 Women's Super League Lacrosse. Join us just as we're about to get our first tennis-side game of the day underway between the Royals and the Mavericks. First take Katie Lahovsky on the draw for the Royals. So, as we had last week, we have already, and that's an opening goal for the Royals, Julie Wise there, taking the feed, finishing up high to the keeper's left. So we've come off this morning's six-a-side games that were played. We had a preliminary game early in the morning, and they had a finals match. The conclusion of that was the teams were accumulating points to add to the points they got from last week. So the table as it stands going into this game is the Royals are at the top on 17 points. We then have the Jets on 13 and Storm on 12, who will both be playing each other in the game after this. And then the Mavericks in fourth place with 3 points. So as we go into this game, it actually means that neither of these teams can change their position. The Royals will finish in the top two, which means that they'll go to the final, and the Mavericks unfortunately can't reach the final game, but they will take place in the third-fourth playoff later today. And they have equalised the game there. Tors Anderson there coming round the crease, finishing low under the keeper. Coach Nelson Lee calling for a team to get the slide out earlier than it got across there, as we see Anderson having a free shot on goal. So whilst these two teams play their first game of the first tennis-side game of the day, later on we will have the Jets versus the Storm in what will be a winner-takes-all game. The winner of that game will move into the final later on this afternoon, and the loser will go into the third-fourth playoff. And the Royals go 2-1 up. Lahovsky with the goal, taking the feed from Izzy Yates there. Izzy just takes it wide. Lahovsky's free in the middle and Marcus don't pick her up, and it's an easy finish. We have Case Lahovsky and Philly Stacey respectively on the draw, and it's another draw win for the Royals. Lahovsky being effective early already. Nice attempted interception, but the Royals are able to regain the ball and move it behind through Yates. Steps in Wise, and that's 3-1 Royals. Just the two there, Yates and Wise working well, Wise cutting in, no one cutting the run, and the finish.
which is what it was the last time we went.
I think it might be 66.
Yeah.
66 you went.
Played against it.
With 2 goalies. Nothing in me.
Julie Wise back on the ball again in attack for the Royals. Very aggressive start from them, getting on the front foot. Won almost all the draw controls. And that's Claire Farram there, extending the Royals' lead.
That was good enough.
It's a different standard to the, like you take it over the years, like in our Euros.
It looks like the Mavs have taken an early time out there as the Royals lead 4 goals to 1.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay. Thank you so much. Cheers. Oh my God, it smells so hot. How's the game start?
But they could easily do a morning.
Mavericks regroup from that timeout. I'm sure they'll be looking to win some ball off the draw control. It's where they've suffered in these early stages already. Kate Saharski's been really effective off the draw, and well, in fact she's been given a rest, and we're going to have Hannah Thurston taking her first draw of the match for the Royals up against Stacey again for the Mavericks. Redraw there, ball not moving above waist height for both the players. And we've got a penalty there against the Royals off the draw, so the Mavericks will get some more possession. They scored off their only possession of the game so far through Tors Anderson. And they pull another one back there. Comes out, Chloe winding across. I think it's B Webber there, picks up the ball. Good little dodge around a couple of players and finishes well. And that's what the Mavericks need to do a bit more of. They can just obtain some ball off the draw control. They've got some dangerous attackers that can work well for them. With the redraw there. It's another switch up off the draw for the Royals. Laura Beeman on her first. Battle for the ground ball here. Looks like it's been won by Philly Stacey. And the Mavericks will come away again. Just over 2 minutes in the quarter, and that's another for the Mavericks. 2 in a row for them, pull another back. It's number 12, Claudia Button. Yeah, Tors Anderson there, just running at the defence, popping it up to Button, and she's left free in the middle. She's able to finish low.
We're going in September for my friend's wedding.
Another win off the draw, Claudia Button. Still battling. She's coming under some pressure from Claire Farram in the defence, but they're able to take possession and they'll settle into another attack. It's going to be a shooting space call there against Farram. And Webber will have a free position opportunity to level things up. Which comes to the middle, good crash from the Royals defence, back out to Anderson and into Button. Over, good backing up, they've got 2 men back there to retain possession. Mavericks have certainly looked much brighter since their team talk. They're looking to level things up just before the end of the first quarter. And there's Weiner on the crease. We are level. Anderson pops it up to Chloe Weiner, and the Mavericks are able to level things, and I think that's going to be I think that might be the end of the quarter. So they've scored just at the right time. Weiner there finishing up high across the keeper after taking the feed from Anderson. And at the end of the first quarter, it's the Royals 4, Mavericks 4.
I finished 2.5 weeks ago. Down south. They give you a compliment. I had a similar impact when I worked in South School. Really? Separate? Oh yeah, because that's wrong. Yeah, exactly. So they looked at me and went, I know you. Oh yeah, that's up north, isn't it? So it's a Scotland player. Who have you got? It's only in the late today. I'm on Pearson. And an American. Very nice. You called Durham.
Coach Coops there probably asking his team where that attacking intent was from the opener. They fell 4-1 behind, called the timeout, managed to regroup, and they've levelled it back up at 4-4 at the end of the first quarter. You may or may not be able to hear, we've got quite strong winds here at the moment at the University of Warwick, which may affect some of the players passing. They'll have to be extra careful about who they're passing it to and how they're passing.
Exeter's just in the middle of nowhere then. Oh yes it is. Exeter's just in the middle of nowhere. That's why everywhere bloody took ages. Exeter, it was like a day. Did you both go to Exeter? You both heard the same, yeah? Yeah.
Oh, you should have made a guess.
Oh, we did that earlier. They're 18 months apart. I gave the game away last week. She told me that I gave the game away. Although for a while they used to
Beth Aram comes up there with the draw win after Julie Wise.
Also, they didn't take the flags down last week. They just kind of kept them up for like the rest of the game.
And that's a really nice goal. Julie Wise again. So Izzy Yates was just waiting, looking for the cutter, looking for the run, and Wise got free and finished off well. So the Royals go back in front again after giving up the 3-goal lead. With the draw in for the Royals, we've seen so far in the opening quarter and a bit that it's really all been about possession. Teams that win the draw control have usually gone on to score off their possessions. The defence is looking to step things up here. Attempted shooting space calling, yeah, it is given there. They're just pushing for that. It's first save there for the Mavericks keeper. Kari Land there gets her first save of the game from the free position opportunity. Raw's pushing hard here on the redefend, trying to stop the Mavericks clearing the ball. Savage is just about able to come through, and Stacey will take it past the halfway and into their attack. Anderson pushing off to Owen. It's a good save again there. I think that's Grant Moreland. Oh, sorry, Katie Greenwood in goal there for the Royals. Makes an early save. Out to Stacey looking to drive. Held up by Lahovsky. Finds the run. And it's another save for Group. No. Well recovered by the Mavericks. They'll go back into attack. Towards Anderson will just settle things behind. For a run, trying to get the one-on-one on a man. Pops it off to Weiner. So after the free scoring first quarter, nice roll there from Anderson, but she can't push the pass off. And the Royals do get the ground ball come away. Lahovsky. They have some errant passing there, and the Mavericks are able. They're breaking quick here. Got a couple of options. Weiner should be looking for the run. Seems like the defences are just about getting their shape now. The early stages they weren't quite on it. Anderson again looking to push the crease, but goes wide. Good backing up from Weiner. Loose pass. Alison Rubin comes away for the Royals. Three-second call against the Mavs in defence. Staying in the foul for more than 3 seconds and not marking a player. Wise looks to take the feed but can't. That's Thompson pushing the gun. Good save again from Land. Battle for the ground ball, and Lahovsky comes up with it and scores. It was initially a good save here, I think, from Land. Yeah, got down well, but then Thurston and Lahovsky come in and are able to win the battle for the loose ball and extends the Royals' lead to 6-4. This break there's Hannah Thurston. She's got a chance to drive here. Off to Thompson. Good save again, Land. And the feed in is successful. Thompson does well to recover her own shot. Pops it up to Isabel White there, I think that was in the middle, getting her first goal of the game. Royals out to 7-4.
Has he meant to come with you? She's got a new one. No.
Nice dodge from Weiner coming into the middle, and she finishes low well through the keeper's legs, I think. She just pushed the defenders, looking for the dodge, moved from one to the other, got free in the middle, and with her left-handed shot, it created a good angle for her, and she was able to finish under the keeper. And the Mavs are using their power play through quarter two here, I think. So I think they've that's 2 goals for them added there. So it's Royals 7, Mavericks 6. As I say, if you weren't watching last week, each team is allowed to elect a power play quarter in which all of the goals scored in that quarter will be worth 2 to their team. I think Coach Nelson Lee's taken a timeout there for the Royals. Score at 7-6.
Usually. I'm dreading, honestly, Jim. Oh, babe, you know what? I will bring Kate. You and I will have two to enjoy. You and Father have taken a bite. This is true. That's my thing. I mean, mostly because it's you'll get more than just one plastic cake. Exactly. I can't drive home, so I need to think that one out. Go well with my dark quarter.
Coach Coop's looking fairly animated with this team here, to say, with probably about 1:30 I think left in the quarter, which gives them 1 minute 30 to get themselves another power play goal, which they could really do with at the moment. I think they need to be leading going into the half time, with the Royals still having their power play under in their armoury. They're going to need to be ahead and try and hold the lead and show some strong defence.
It's like a political. It's like a funny. Yeah. Shall I ask you? Me and Ward talk about the Royals. We lost one. Royals? Oh, yeah, I've got the other. They've lost people at the obviously, it was a big debated topic in the Warwick household this week. Rugby sevens or Super Boots. All 3 of them. They were torn. We did both. Were you there yesterday? Oh my God, what were you dressed up as? We didn't. We stopped drinking it then. Did you dress up? So we went to Mamma Mia. Did you? Sorry, Abba. My friend's sister went as her and her boyfriend went as Penguin. They had every yeah, Mimi Ruiz went as like the Incredible Hulk on a blow-up and literally, like, she couldn't quite get up the stairs. Oh yeah, they did walk. Yeah, but it was like battery powered. How do we though?
Just some discrepancy there in what we thought the time was. It appeared that was possibly the half-time break there between the two teams. I think they're just having 5 minutes between for the half-time break.
Royals have like moves and stuff. Yeah. Mavericks had a competition.
We had nothing. Exactly. That's the point.
Definitely
So Mavericks in possession at the beginning of the third quarter. They trail the Royals 7-6. I think the Royals have taken their power play for this third quarter. The Mavericks have given up ball there, that could be important. Passed up quick, fast break, Lahovsky into Yates. Well defended, managed to hold her up, and there's the interception. The Mavericks can recover. It's an important time in the game now. You'd look to see, although the Mavericks are behind, coming through with Wu, but she's lost the ball. Farham fighting for the ground ball and comes away with it. You'd like to see the Mavericks hold possession, maybe take some time out of the Royals' power play and try and restrict their goal scoring chances. Over here we have Yates popping it off, and there's a goal for the Royals. The start of the third quarter. Popped up Lahovsky into Yates. The run comes through the middle from Edwards and she finishes up high. The Royals now hold a 3-goal lead, 9-6.
Come here, Maddie. I don't think she's definitely not here. Definitely not here.
Another win for the Royals. Looking to build up a head of steam here, kill off the game in the third with their power play. Popped off to Beeman. Wise looking to push the crease, coming round, goes one way, shot the other, it's blocked. Bouncing around there in the Mavericks defence, can't really get a good stick on it. Beeman attacks again, got a bit of an overload out here, and the finish down low from Thompson brings another goal for the Royals. I've just found themselves a little out of place. And they just opened up for Thompson. I think Mavericks were a player light in that defensive area. And they stretch out to an 11-6 lead. Thurston comes up with the draw control from herself. Good win for her. Nice pick from Julie Wise, but just wide. There's Yates here on the ball for the Royals, currently playing at the University of Nottingham. She's got her, and here she goes picking the return, and that's a goal for Yates. She just popped it off. Her attacking partner holds it. Nice little 1-2 back to her, and the finish. It's just what the Mavericks didn't want. The Royals scoring early in their power play game, which has given the game a completely different complexion. They've added 6 goals to their tally, and the Mavericks now looking at a 7-goal deficit, which was just 1 at the half. They'll still look to attack. They've been fairly promising in attack so far today. They've added Tools Anderson to their squad from last week, which has given them a bit more impetus. And there she is, there assisting Lara Owen for the goal to pull one back. It's really been in defence where they've been unable to stop the Royals' attack that last week was powerful and looks just as strong again this week.
She goes, the apple's like 2 bites big. She goes, watching like this.
Mavericks did win there, quick break, but they've coughed the ball up again. The Royals will come forward. Polski. I think they'll look to push it, put one more up in this power play quarter, and that will almost effectively seal the game for them. Thompson looking for her options after Wise and Yates playing together behind the back. Darren looking dangerous from the top, looking to drive on her man. Hello, Mavericks can come clear. Anderson driving from wide. Goes off to Weiner at the back, pops it to Owen. Tempted shot, just going to run behind in a small injury stop clock here. So as we mentioned earlier, the way the table stands, both these teams' places are already assured. And that's the end of the third quarter, so the Royals are topping the table at the moment, and a win here would just cement their position, but they're already guaranteed to be playing in the final game at about 3:15 today, I think. And the Mavericks unfortunately can't make the final no matter what their result today, so they will have the 3rd, 4th place game at around 2:15.
Oh wait, you've had these before? Who has it?
They always get them out at the end. Yeah, but they give them out to free for uni students at Brooks.
Oh. Yeah, we have Red Bull.
Yeah, we have Red Bull. We have Red Bull as well.
Slightly different vibes. Yeah.
We've got beer in the hat.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, not alcoholic. They're like, they are going somewhere.
I don't think so.
Can I put this in your bag, please? Thanks. I think they were alcoholic. Yep, right?
Glad you have a chair.
No, but
What's your this month?
I was surprised that they were handing out alcoholic beers.
Where
are we going?
I think we're going for body warm up.
Half hot.
Yeah.
So here we go for the start of the fourth and final quarter between the Royals and the Mavericks. The Royals in a very commanding position, holding a 13 goals to 7 lead. Coming up after this game, we will have the Storm versus the Jets in a game that will determine which one of them goes through to the final. It will be a winner-takes-all match, with the winner moving into the final and the loser going to the third, fourth game. In terms of points tables, the Jets do actually lead by 1 point. Jets have 13 points and Storm have 12, so if the game does finish a tie, the Jets will go through, as each team will take 3 points each. And just as Julie Wise adds another for the Royals, 14-7. Doubling on the Mavericks score. Good win for Lahovsky there, popping it up to herself. Risenhide to take it. Wise looking for the run, picks out Farham, goes to dodge, cuts inside and finishes well low. Extremely accurate from that sort of range, Claire Farham, especially given space in the middle. Should be one to look out for in the final for the Royals. They'll look to play a lot of their attack through her. Claimed by Anderson there off the draw. Mavericks getting some well-needed ball. They've not had much possession at the start of the fourth. They'll be looking to execute well here off the attack. Stacey pushing. Strong defence from the Royals, holding out. They'll go again from the top. A movement across from the Royals defence still. Anderson looking for something from behind. She'll go left-right. Always open, always offering. Two-man game behind now. Back to Anderson looking for Weiner potentially. She gets another run through the middle. And there we go, there we have it. You can see them angling for it. Weiner was just looking for the right time to make her run. Anderson even signalled there. She's looking at her all the time. Finds it, she does well just to reach up and pushes it down past Greenwood. Another win for the Mavericks. Stacey comes up, they're going to look to push this quickly. She'll got a chance to drive, she dodges. Oh, good save I think from Greenwood, just tipping it away. There's some double team in the middle there. Managed to get away from the pressure. Now Thompson looking to push it. Just rushing things a little there for the Royals. Could have gone into a couple more passes before looking for the killer ball. Anderson's come to play down the bottom of the circle here now. Sean Weiner up top. Stacey still again controlling from the top, looking to drive on her defence, but they've very good on her when she's looked to get a step, get a dodge on her player, and they've pushed her out again. They're just working the ball around here, Mavs, I think. Little feeling towards their third, fourth game later on today. They just want to hold possession, not have to do too much defending, stay in control. Attempted feed and shot there, just missed, they'll recycle. Stacey, nice little roll inside, but well defended again, although been called by the umpires. Stacey should get a free position right in front here. Fairly clean lane for her here, should get a good shot. Just takes the step inside. It's a good crash there. And the Royals got across well. But Stacey will get a second opportunity. She almost wasted having a chance to get the shot away from the first one, right from the centre mark. Well recovered there from Anderson, retaining Mavericks possession as we enter the final minutes, and they'll add another to their score. Good finish there from Tors Anderson. That's game. So that's a 15-9 win for the Royals. We'll see them command their position at the top of the table. They will finish first in our standings. The Mavericks will take fourth place and move into the third, fourth game later on. So as I say, coming up now after this game, it's the big one between the Storm and the Jets. The winner of which will move into the final against the Royals. We'll be with you in around 10 minutes with that game.
That's what Jetson is saying. I don't think it's technically.
Oh my god!
Did I put sunglasses in the car? No, there they are. Coaching boy, she's got. 10 beers in mine.
They'll stop raining. Which one?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to get our second ten-a-side match of the afternoon underway between the Storm and the Jets. This is a big decider contest. Whoever comes out victorious in this fixture will move into the final against the Royals at around 3:15, as the Jets come up with the first draw control. Emily Gray to goal, good save from Sally Keogh. And just like to say, joined for this game by Jane Powell, National Talent Development Manager at England Lacrosse. She'll be co-commentating with me today. Hi Jane.
Hi Sean, and hello to all the people who are listening in. It's a great opportunity here to see some top quality lacrosse, so I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah, this is going to be a real competitive, real fierce fixture, and looking forward to see what comes of it.
Camilla Hayes just throwing that one a little bit wildly there, so the Jets come away with the ball. And on the ball now is Tara Dempsey. She's one of our under-19 squad who will be going to the World Championships later this year.
Yeah, we've got a few players on display today. I know we've also got Hannah Thurston in the Royal side, another member of our under-19 World Cup squad. They'll be looking to get some, this is really valuable experience for them, playing against some top-level players.
No, it's excellent. It's good to give our under-19s and under-23s this opportunity to play with some of our more seasoned senior internationals, and they're doing well. Zoe McRae's in that defence down there, and she's just made a useful block earlier, so it's good to see them stepping up to the plate on this one.
And as we said, that was Emily Gray with the shot for the Jets going wide. She'll be heading out with the senior squad to Israel for the European Championships in July. Temi Ogunsunya there looking to push the envelope, but Emma Oakley does well, comes out with the ball for Storm, and Mackenzie Peace looking to get Storm going with a fast breakout. There she's held up well by Madison Jones. Hayes can now pull the ball away. It's Chess Gray with the ball behind. Zoe McRae here joining the attack for the Storm, usually a defender, but getting involved at the other end of the pitch.
It's good to see Zoe McRae pushing further forward. I think she's got a lot of ability, a lot of potential, and it's nice to see her cutting through there, taking the ball. Oh, thought she was going to score then. That would have been something.
Yeah, we almost predicted that one straight away there, but Jets did well to see her off and not allow the shot. Good defensive work there between Emily Gray and Stacey Wright. And then holding Camilla Hayes off on the crease. Two England teammates going up against each other here, looking to get the better of each other. Simpson gives that away, and though she does very well there on the defensive work, but the Jets can come away.
Good running there by Emily Gray. Gray being chased by Camilla Hayes and Jen Simpson.
Lovely finish there on the crease from Annie Butcher. Really good stick work there, just pushing it over Sally Keogh. The Jets go 1-0 ahead. Really good stick work there to avoid the Storm defence and then still get a good shot away. It's the opening goal of the game for the Jets.
Two England teammates taking their face off, one for the Storm and one for the Jets, Camilla Hayes and Emily Gray. Be interesting to see who comes out on top in this one.
Yeah, Camilla Hayes is usually top quality on these draw controls. There she is picking it up for the Storm. She'll be vital if they're to succeed today.
The strength that Camilla Hayes has in that single one-handed reach for the ball is just second to none. I've seen her do that many times for England, and you just saw that example again there, where she just reached out for it with her left hand and just pulled it in to maintain possession.
Charlie Bergfist with the ball there for Storm, but again a slight errant pass. They've been guilty of a few wayward passes in these early stages, and the Jets can pick up possession again.
Yeah, and possession is like 9/10 of the game. You know, if you can maintain possession, then you stand a very good chance of winning this game. So any loose ground ball or any loose pass is going to be the changing moment of each of these games as we move forward.
The Jets now looking to take advantage of that, getting a settled possession on in attack. That's really good work by Emma Oakley. I think she spotted that pass a long way off. Looking particularly, I think, seems like the Jets are going for a face guard on Jenny Simpson. She was really good in the first week, and the Jets are just matching her up all the way around that defence. She's not able to get hold of the ball, and a fairly weak shot for the Storm there, saved easily by Emily Chandler.
Emily Chandler just loves coming out of that crease area. You know, she's one of a new breed of goalkeepers that is going to be very instrumental in the game as we go forward with the new rules. 10-a-side now move from 12-a-side and going to the 6-a-side game as well. We're going to need athletic goalkeepers, and she's one of that new breed.
Yeah, we see it in football to a sense with now Man City, teams like that. They're sort of their keepers are required to be an extra defender who can come out and pass the ball and set their team up on attacks. And Emily Chandler's had a lot of experience of playing boys lacrosse, and I think she takes those skills into the women's game really well.
Foul by Camilla Hayes on Emily Gray, so Emily Gray with the ball. Keely Harper on the ball, nice to see her back playing. It's she's been one of the stalwarts of England women's lacrosse for some time, and it's great to have her experience out there. Good save there by Sally Keogh. Yeah,
first big save there for Sally Keogh. Katie Butcher looking to score down low, but Sally Keogh's really good around that area, getting down well. And here we have Zoe McRae back in the attack again. Shifted quickly to Bergfist. Looked to be good, strong defence. Butcher there getting back after having her shot. Just managed to put Bergfist off, but she will go to the line for a free position shot. Good save, Chandler. Simpson now gets the opportunity on the ball. They'll look to not let her get much on the crease, but good pass off there. She picks a player, Zoe Dixon running in, and Storm level up.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Really competitive quarters action there. Storm getting the goal just on the stroke of the quarter time. I think that was really important for them.
But anyway, if you ever want, I did that before. Stand like that. You know, wait to go. But if you do it, we found your secret.
This is also good practice for the officials. And Paul Bibby there talking to the officials, and he will also be going to the Under-19 World Championships in August.
As you say, with moved 10-a-side over the last couple of years, you know, whilst the officials are highly experienced, to officiate at this top level, there's sort of very intricate mechanics of it that they've got to sort of iron out and work out just as the players do.
That's right, and there was a fourth one there, and the fourth one there is responsible for the stop clock in the last 30 seconds of each quarter. So that's why it may have looked to have gone slightly longer than the 8 minutes, but that's because you stop the clock every time the whistle goes in the last 30 seconds of every quarter.
So we look to get the second quarter underway, back with Camilla Hayes and Emily Gray on the draw again.
And there's that left-handed reach again.
It's that same win, carbon copy from Hayes, and she looks to go to goal.
But a loose throw.
Chandler again looking to just dictate her team's play. Tried to find the clear out towards Butcher but couldn't, and Oakley can break with the ball. Looks for Bergqvist there. Good save up high from Chandler.
There's that athleticism, and away comes Emily Gray as well, just sprinting down the pitch, but being really closely marked by Camilla Hayes. Good work from those two England girls.
You can see that's going to be a running battle all through this game. Hayes and Gray, they're matching up against each other in all areas of the pitch. I think it's probably where the team's strength in depth is going to come into play. Teams are now starting to identify those girls who were really strong in the first week. So now maybe it creates a bit of space for the players that maybe weren't the big scorers in week one to find the space today, now that the teams are looking out for some other options.
That's right, and the coaches will have spotted that, and they'll be face marking, they'll be making sure that those key players are not allowed to have those easy shots that they possibly did last weekend, and so you're absolutely right, there's strength in depth.
There we see as Hayes come behind, Simpson's still got that guard on her every step of the way. But there we go, the option was free, and Chess Gray, I think that was able to come round for the Storm to put them 2-1 ahead. Really nice. Ooh, Zoe McRae there possibly could have been called moving pick, but she just stepped across, and it gave Gray the free space to get the shot away.
This is a great matchup in the centre now. We've got the very tall Camilla Hayes and the rather shorter Robinson.
It's interesting, as you can see, it has made Camilla Hayes change her natural position. She's had to naturally get lower to reach the smaller player. We're having a little trouble actually setting this up. And it pays off for the Jets, I think. Real ground ball battle. There is Hayes popping up with the win.
Well saved, save there from Emily Chandler.
Nice height for her there. It's been interesting to see now what Chandler can do, because the Jets have been struggling now to move the ball into the attacking zone, and if she can find a nice pass and get them away. And there we go, right into Harper, and well taken. Now Jets can look to settle their possession. Really good there from Keely Harper.
Yeah, if you look at her fast feet, they're incredibly fast, and just they're able to deviate quite suddenly around the opponent. Just watch this on the replay. Those feet never stop moving. Tight game, Sean. 2-2.
Yeah, you can see the tension's definitely there. There's not too much being given away by either side, and as I say, I'm definitely a fan of the Jets changing this up on the draw.
It's really making them have to think, isn't it? And again, it's loose, and Emily Gray picks it up, so it definitely a winner for the Jets there.
Keely Harper behind, slowing things down, just looking for her options.
Trying to organise them. Look, there's the maturity and the experience coming into play. Trying to organise her side and not panicking, not giving the ball away.
Just looking to pull the defender out, and she can see she's trying to roll back inside. She's trying to get the option.
But well marked there by the Storm, and Zoe McRae comes away, gives the ball into the midfield.
I think there's options here for really good defensive work there. I think that's Hen Watson. And we've got an empty check, and the Jets will come away.
I think there was an offside, was there? Oh, simultaneous one.
Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a jump ball here. Won by Watson for the Jets.
Miracles on both sides of the field, coming away with the ball. Strong run down that wing.
Yeah, I think we're seeing, as we see, a few of the defenders moving into the sort of more attacking situations. I think we've seen with the six-a-side game earlier this morning that players are realising that they're not just defensive options.
I think that's one of the advantages of the six-a-side game, is that you've got to develop a more versatile position. It's great to have your straight defenders and straight attackers, but if you can then throw something into the mix that is slightly out of the ordinary, then it's going to cause the opposition some problems.
Attempted shot there from Gray, but I think just went into the side netting, trying to come around the crease. To enter the last 90 seconds of the second quarter. Score still at 2-all. The place in the final against the Royals up for grabs. Check call there against Devon Berry. I think she thinks she might. No, but she thought she might have been taking a card, but it's just been called a foul. Katie Butcher on the free position. She decides to go behind to Harper. So you can see she's been really busy here up against Mackenzie Peace in defence for the Storm. She's always looking for that roll back inside. The defence is just there, she's pushing. Good work from Mackenzie there with the check. It's recovered by the Jets. Oh, I think we're just going to miss that goal there. The whistle came just before the finish. Jets not looking very impressed there, but yeah, Storm have just got away with one there, and we will go into the break still with the scores at 2 apiece. A little bit of a lucky break there for the Storm to take into half time.
It is, and I'm just interested as to when either of the coaches, Jill Aldcroft or Caitlin Hoffman, will play the power quarter.
Yeah, I think we've seen in the situations where the games tend to be tight, the coaches seem to be reluctant to use it too early and show their hand too early. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were to both leave it until the fourth quarter, but somebody could shake things up and it would make it for a very interesting second half.
It certainly would, and it's those moments that coaches can either make it or break it for their team and make sure that they either put pressure on the opposition or they release pressure. It's all about pressure at this level now. It's about what do you give away or what don't you give away, because it's the team that make the least mistakes that can win the game from this place on.
Yeah, because it was originally going to start obvious and then there was like a draw or something.
Yeah, just say, teams can, ultimately you can do all the sort of training exercises that you want. You can try and create game situations, but ultimately nothing compares to actually having to do it when the pressure's on. And that's the kind of players that will make the difference for your side.
Absolutely, and that's why the teams want a balance of the older experienced players who've been there and done it with the youngsters coming through, and it's such a fantastic opportunity to mentor some of the younger players moving through by our senior players. And that's we want the pathway to be strong as we go through, so this opportunity to play this level for these youngsters is invaluable as they move forward.
I think last month maybe, or the month before, and all three of the age groups actually got together for a squad weekend, I think down at Aldershot. Was it just after home internationals?
They did, and the under-19s played against the under-23s and the seniors, and whilst they didn't win the games, they showed a lot of potential, and they learnt a lot as they went through those games, and it was just a really good event, really good day, just to be able to see all of our under-19s, 23s and seniors on the same pitch at the same time.
So we're just about to resume here for the third quarter. Be interesting. Yeah, we're going to get the same little and large matchup on the draw. I think it was a really positive change for the Jets, wasn't it? They could see that it just wasn't working going to the standard.
Well,
and
you can see the difference as they stand there. You see the difference in height, and to be able to set up with the sticks horizontal is quite difficult for Camilla Hayes when it's that difference in size. She much prefers it more easily matched.
Yeah, she's not been able to get any self-draw wins since moving to that option, but they've made the effort there to get the players around her to win the ball, and Storm will take first possession.
Yeah, that's great observation, Sean. That's absolutely it, that she likes the self-draw, but she can't do that. Zoe McRae, yes, and she scores.
Oh no, another disallowed. The foul's been given before. She'll be a little bit disappointed with that one.
I keep teasing her that she should shoot more, and she just scores, and then it's not quite given, so I'm a bit disappointed on that one.
She may get another opportunity here. Let's see if she gives it a go.
Good save though from Emily Chandler, but she loses it, and it's Storm's possession.
Yeah, I think Chandler always fancies herself in those one-on-one situations.
I think she's like most goalkeepers, think she's a better attacker than anybody else on the pitch as well. That's what goalkeepers do, isn't it? So she always likes that stick work challenge.
Good shot there from Simpson, but it hits the post. You can see she was Storm have pushed her out from playing behind. They were obviously not getting much joy from that and tried to push her out into their attack, but she can't come up with the shot, and the Jets will come away with the ball. Emily Gray up top. Harper to Gray, can't quite come away. Looks to switch it up, but passes wide. Jones collects. Really nice roll, dodge there into the middle. Foul from McRae. Brilliant goal there.
Brilliant. And she showed a lot of strength there, as a youngster. One of her advantages is that because she is shorter, then her centre of gravity is lower to the ground. So those pushers, look at that. Look how she just rode that. And
that's some brilliant stick work there, that is, as I say. And the strength, sort of the core strength to be able to hold off that challenge. I suppose those are the fine margins. Zoe McRae rode the challenge at the other end, scored, but the umpires picked it up before she was able to score.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, I think it's good to see the youngsters. I think Madison is also an under-19 and will be looking to go to the World Championships this summer. She'll be representing Wales, and I'm sure that they'll be delighted to see her performance in this Super League.
Yeah, I think she's Wales captain. She picked up best midfielder at the under-20 Euros last summer. As I say, she'll probably see a lot more of Zoe McRae in that defensive attacking matchup come August in Canada.
They certainly will, and I'm sure they're both looking forward to it. You know, who wouldn't be looking forward to playing in the World Championships and challenging yourself against the best in the world at your age group?
So the Storm find themselves a goal down here. Until then, Camilla Hayes levels things up.
Yeah, that was a great feed from Zoe Dixon, I think. Dixon.
Yeah, Hayes was finally able to get herself free. She's been well marked up to now, but she just managed to elude her marker.
Still all tied though, 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3 as I was saying earlier.
But both, I think both have got power play markers up, so 4-4.
It was a good spot. Yeah, we are still tied at 4-4. Just saying about using them, saying it would be brave for one of them to go early. Well, they both went early, but they both went at the same time.
Yeah, so one cancels out the other. So, but not, you know, and that's why these goals are so important in the power play time, because if somebody goes up by 2, that's really tight in this game.
Yeah, and I think we've just had a timeout call.
Caitlin Hoffman talking to the Storm.
Yeah, as we said, so said it's a winner-takes-all situation. The way the standings look at the moment, the Jets are actually ahead by 1 point. So if the game were to be a tie, the Jets would go through because both teams would take 3 points from this game, and Jets would go through. So although they'll obviously be looking to win the game outright, they've always got that little thing in the back of their mind that they know that if the game's tied like this, that they do have the advantage, so the Storm will have to look to press.
Yeah, sometimes that's dangerous in your mind to know that you don't have to win, because then you don't always go out and play positively. But at the moment, both teams playing hard and both teams playing for that win. Jets came away with it again there with the little and large draw.
It has been remarkable that change of fortune for the Jets. I think Storm won the first 3 draws, and since then I'm not sure they've come up with more than maybe 1 since then. Just missed the take there from Jets, and they've given up vital possession.
That's so frustrating as a coach or as a teammate when a fairly non-threatening pass is not collected. Good interception by Emily Chandler, but it was a little bit telegraphed. Could see that one coming, and she intercepted it and feeds out to Emily Gray.
As you said, she's always on her toes, always looking to come out, and yeah, as you said, she read that pass and set her team back on the attack.
Laura Dempsey with the ball, another of the under-19s. But again,
just mistake from Harper.
Loose pass.
Well worked there by Jets just to hold the ball on the line, and they've, against the odds, still retained possession. High defence here, Oakley pushing right from the top. Really not giving the Jets any option, and there we go, they've forced the turnover.
Not yet.
An unfortunate penalty there, a foul there against the Jets.
Yeah, they played the empty stick, and so they've come away with the ball. Ooh.
Probably needed there from Wright. The Storm are moving the ball quick around. She's just broke it up a little. Just made sure it's outside the fan as well, so not a clear free position. The Gray's got a little bit of room there on the crease, but Slide gets across just in time. Bergfist pushing. Dixon, Zoe McRae free. Oh, she just missed the take. She made the right run, got herself into space.
Good chasing from Chess Gray though to recover that ball.
We might have just had the minute call from the side for the quarter. So both teams are on power play now, so if the Storm can pick up a goal now just before the end of the third, that will be a big blow to the Jets. You can see that they're going to do all they can to stop the Storm goal, but they can't.
Jen Simpson,
they've kept her quiet up until now, but as we said, the pressure moments, the best players.
Could be quite telling, I think.
Yeah, pressure moments, the best players often do come up with the plays.
That takes that 2-goal difference because of the power play, 6-4. And it must be nearly time. And there's the third quarter.
Wow. Such an important goal there for the Storm. That's going to give them a massive boost.
Massive, because from now on both teams have played their power play, so now every goal's only going to count for 1, whereas that goal counted for 2. And we're therefore 6-4, so 2-goal different. That's going to take some doing if both teams maintain what they've done so far over 3 quarters of the game.
Whilst we said with the Jets knowing that they could afford to draw, kind of changes it for them now. They are going to have to attack. They're going to have to push the ball. They're going to have to push in defence, not allow Storm to run the clock down.
That's exactly it, and that's what I was saying. It's quite dangerous when you know that you don't have to win, because there's always in the back of your mind, it's okay. And now it's the pressure's on. Now the pressure's really on them, because they know they've got to come back, and they've not only got to score once, they've got to score twice to any goal that Storm might muster. If Storm score again, I think that might be the end of the game.
Yeah, it's been very low scoring. The defences have played a good game, and to pick up 3 goals in a quarter has been tough with the way things have gone so far. I'm sure the Royals will also be pleased to see both these teams having to play to the max to get through to the final, just put in a few extra yards in their legs.
They certainly will. It gets very competitive, the Super League, because teammates are suddenly playing against each other, and bragging rights for the next season are out there, and it's just really important to them. But it's also a good standard, a high level of lacrosse, and good fun.
To remind you that the Storm are the reigning Super League champions. They won the title back here in 2018. They'll be looking to hold their crown again.
Interesting that Jets have gone back to Emily Gray now, so let's see if Camilla Hayes can win a self-draw.
As we saw there, the Storm again, Hayes against somebody of a similar height is able to work that ball better. She got more height on it, was able to push it out to her players better. I think the Jets have possibly missed a trick there. I think they were worried that Gray had been matching up against Hayes in the defence, and I think they wanted to get that matchup back to stop Hayes in the attack. But
which is interesting, because you need to get possession from the draw. Storm have got possession now, so they can actually dictate, and in all essence they can just hold the ball for the next 8 minutes. I know they've got to take shots because of the shot clock, but it's really important that they just maintain possession.
There we go, Gray is matching up against Hayes in the defence, and She's looking to push.
It's the crossbar, it bounces back and the Storm maintain possession. Those ground balls are just so important.
They win a knife edge here. Storm know if they can get the next goal, they'll look like good favourites for the game. Jets needing 2 goals to tie things back up and put themselves into the Super League final. Gray got the slip from a defender, but the shot wasn't the best and Chandler was able to watch it in. Now we may have a fast break on here for the Jets. Harper looking to move quick.
Look at the speed of Hayes though, coming back there and just
really helped
running
the team
it down
out there. But there's a free, yeah, there we go. One back for the Jets. Katie Butcher found herself free in the middle. We're back to a 1-goal game. Totally unmarked in the middle, unfortunately, and was able to execute the finish. Back to a 1-goal game. It'll be interesting to see what the Jets are going to move to off the draw.
still going with Emily Gray and Camilla Hayes.
Big possession coming up.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go, and there's that one-handed take by
Self
Camilla
win for Hayes.
Great feed inside there.
Charlie Bergfist restoring Storm's 2-goal lead. Jess Gray's been really good this game, as I say. Players stepping up to the plate. I think those are actually two Scotland internationals there combining up front for the Storm.
Yeah, and she's really increased the pace of her play and everything today, hasn't she? Just to step up for her team, because Simpson's being marked much more closely, so she's suddenly realised that she has to take the game to the Jets.
And we have now gone back to Madison Jones for the Jets. But same result, Storm win off the draw. Now the Jets
Emily
are really...
Gray just placed that back into Camilla Hayes' stick, unfortunately, for the Jets.
With around 4 minutes left in the quarter as the rain starts to come down at the University of Warwick.
We've had 4 seasons today, Sean, haven't we?
Absolutely, I think we had fairly similar last week as well. But yeah, today the wind's really got up, and it's a bit of a free gift there from the Storm as we get our own storm come through. Gray pushing. It's a good save from Keogh. The attention she was getting from Camilla Hayes has been deemed too close. Gray will get a second chance. Just not got the grace of angles, and Oakley's going to come at her quick. We'll see what happens. Yeah, she has to take it behind. As I say, Jets just trying to force things there, knowing they need the goals quick.
Yeah, and Sally Keogh's too experienced for that last shot. She was there covering it, so out wide to Zoe McRae, who just runs it down.
Yeah, Storm are going to enter holding to the ball now phase. I can't imagine they'll be taking too many shots.
Jess Gray just hanging on to it, really, just keeping possession as we go into the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, clock turns 2, and I think the Jets are really going to have to move to the double. I think there we go. Harper signalled the move to the double, and it pays off. But let's play the pass. I think Gray would have liked to have been able to go there. Just might get breaks on. Right into Jones. That roll spin again. She gives it away.
She's strong in that crease area, isn't she? In the fan area, Madison has that strength to just go through. But Emma Oakley is down the right-hand side. Takes the ball behind. Probably running the clock down now.
Yeah, Jets have to double the ball again. Chandler's looking to step out. It's an opportunity here to, they need to step up the double. Safe, Chandler. Oh, but well recovered by Simpson. Chandler pressing. Wonderful goal from Simpson, and that should seal things for the Storm. 8-5 lead, and it looks like the Storm are going to return to the final.
It's almost like Jenny Simpson waits for the last minute of every quarter, and then she just shows her strength and her power and shows it up high and then places it down low. Good goal.
Yeah, that's back to what she's good at, coming round that crease, picking up the ball, and really strong on her angles. And Simpson just denied there at the death, but don't think she'll mind, because that's an 8-5 win for the Storm, and they move through into the final against the Royals. As expected, Jane, that was a really good, really competitive game from both teams there.
Yeah, and it went right down to the wire. I mean, the changing moment was the goal by Jenny Simpson at the end of the third quarter, where they were playing power play. So by scoring right at the end, it took the Storm 2 goals ahead, which always gave them that cushion. And they were, I don't think, with the experience they've got, they were ever going to give that away.
Yeah, that goal at the end of the third was a real blow for them, and the Jets ended up chasing the game, forcing things a bit too much, and the Storm were able to seal out the game. So the Storm advanced to the Women's Super League final. Coming up before that, at around 2:15, we will have the third-fourth playoff, which will be between the Jets and the Mavericks from earlier. And then after that, we will be bringing you at 3:15 the Women's Super League final for 2019 between the Royals and the Storm. So we'll be back in around 10 minutes for our third-fourth playoff.
Yeah. Because I said it first, we're doing shit all the time, so why didn't Emily take it on our video for it was great when I was leading. There you go. I literally, she's not winning that. So. But no, yeah, but it's more the fact that it's just someone that knows what's going on in there, like, because I'm not very useful if I don't know what's going on. Like, so I'll be an overload basically. She might not do it. She sort of said it was a good idea, but yeah, that's what they're going to do it. She was like, oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, no. Okay, thanks. I think it's helped our midfield string out a little bit, so then neither me or you have to do it. Like. Yeah, you just took one and they're like, Steven, you do it. Like. I took one on my own. Yeah, you literally bailed after one. I was like, that's just rude, isn't it? Like, yeah, you might take it out and then I'll just be okay. Have fun. Right, so half time but then Are they actually? I know we I actually like them. I just feel that happy. Anyone see that they were from dog? Yeah, that's that. That's not like making me watch it. I mean, that's oh my goodness! And then I said, oh my goodness! Like a small cake. Yeah, same. I always see that and I remember that make you feel like
Yeah, try and get a few. I don't like quite the standard.
Welcome back for the third, fourth playoff match of the Women's Super League from a wet University of Warwick site at the moment. Just had a large downpour come through.
This is what you mean by an English summer, isn't it, eh? All 4 seasons in one go. And that's the first goal for Emily Gray for the Jets.
Yeah, good early start for the Jets there on the board. Coming off the back of their close loss against the Storm earlier.
Good assist by Keely Harper.
Plenty of experience in that combo there up front for the Jets. Another win for the Jets there, and that's another goal. Gray transitioning up there, and Temi Ogasunya with her first for the Jets.
I think you called it earlier, the experience that the Jets have got in attack compared to the inexperience of the Mavericks in defence has really made a difference in the first 2 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, what we saw in the last game that both teams did really well in defence from the off was identify the key players in attack from each respective side and put plans in place right from the start to try and nullify them. I think Mavericks have got to identify early where the Jets are going to be strong and look to counter them and try and hold them off as much as possible.
And this is where Mavericks are probably equal to most of the other teams in attack. You know, Tors Anderson just driving in there left-handed and still keeping possession, driving in, but the flag's gone up.
Passed off to Weiner.
Good cut by Laura Earn, but it was watched by Emily Gray, and Jets have got the ball back.
Yeah, Gray Gray saw the pass coming and was able to get the interception in early on.
Emily Gray seems to be in the middle of everything at the moment and making a big difference to the Jets team.
Really nice interception there. Coming away. And maybe Freya Savage, is it, with the ball there?
That's right, Freya Savage. B. Webber.
Nice little transition out of defence. Yeah, Emily Gray central to what the Jets have done today. And Mavericks going to have to look to face up against her well if they want to get the win from today. With the loose pass, they're looking a lot for that pass to the middle, and the ball's just about held up there for Owen.
Good chasing by Owen. She's a good runner. Just runs after everything on the field.
Yeah, it's been used, two-way by the Mavericks. Oh, lovely cut in there from Weiner, and she beat Chandler, but just found the bar. Stacey recovers. Good work there from the Jets, closing out Anderson.
Yeah, it's almost as if Anderson's trying to force that a little bit too much at the moment, just have a bit more patience, just work it around the area.
So it's an area where the Mavericks can be strong, they've got the players there to to be effective in attack and score some goals. It's at the back generally where they've struggled against a couple of the sides. Good check there by Agasunya as Stacey tried to clear, but it's been picked up again. After Button looking for Anderson's cut, attempted shot. And Chandler does well on the chase there, recovers the ball for the Jets. Mavericks are very high, it'll be interesting to see what happens if you can get a quick ball on. They go for the slow break. Agasunya comes through.
The rain has passed through for a little moment, so a little breather for us all out here.
Yeah, a little spell of some calmer weather. Hopefully should help the teams as well to put together some good attack. And there's Gray, there we go. Great vision there to find Gray. She just made the run across the face of goal. Butcher there, just took it behind, just saw Gray run in. 3-0 Jets. Bedlam and Button combining to come up with the win there for the Mavericks. There's a really good check there from Jones, and then as Button tried to recover, got called for the empty stick check, and Watson's going to break again for the Jets.
Hopper taking it behind, and the whistle has gone for a timeout, I believe.
Or maybe end of the first, I think. Welcome back for the second quarter. So what do you make of that, James? As I say, we saw that, probably equal possession for both sides, yet the Jets lead 3-0.
Yeah, I think the Jets have got the experience in attack that is really beginning to tell against an inexperienced Mavericks defence. Although I'm a little bit disappointed with the Mavericks shooting, because I think they, as you say, they've had the opportunities, but they've just not made wise choices, and therefore Emily Chandler's playing well, but she's been enabled to play well because of the poor choice of shot.
First possession goes Jets' way again.
A little bit lax in the passing there, and Jets gave the ball away, so Mavericks are bringing the ball up the field now. Phyllis Stacey on the ball. She's played quite well, I've thought, over the last few days.
Yeah, she's been given a lot of responsibility and a lot of that working the ball from defence to attack, trying to get things going for the Mavericks. Jets have been really good in that tight area around the front of the goal. Not allowed many teams the option to shoot dead in front of the goal. They've made them work, made them look for their slightly less percentage shots from tighter angles.
Was that just half-time or quarter time?
It looked like Anderson had scored there.
For her, I think the whistle has gone.
Yeah, I think there might have been a shooting space call or a 3-second call in the middle there, and unfortunately she's going to have to put it in the net again. Strikes the post.
But regained possession. Just needs to be a little bit more patient, I think, the Mavericks. They get the chances and they try to force it too early.
Great work again there from Chandler. Read where the attacker was going to shoot. She faked high and then still tried to go high, and Chandler was just all over it. This is where the Mavericks need to be strong now. They need to look to hold out a Jets possession, and they have. Well done. Grubber intercepts, looks to set Button away on the fast break, but errant pass is collected again by Jones for the Jets.
Such a great asset to any team, somebody like Keeley Harper who can just hang on to the ball, just wait for the right moment, look for that cut, and a great marking by Phyllis Stacey, who comes away with the ball.
Good legs there, she's gone 50-60 yards, Stacey, but turned away again by the Jets' close defence. Weiner with the chance now, and there's the first goal for the Mavericks.
Chloe Warren has been sharp in front of goal today.
Yeah, when she's been looking for that angle quite a lot, just cutting in off the left hand. When she's had the opportunity, more often than not, for a clear shot, she's found the corner. That should be a boost now to the Mavericks. If they can take the next possession off this draw, get themselves back up the other end and put together another goal. Good battle won there by Owen against Harter for the ground ball. And then Wu coming inside, looks free. Oh, well closed out by the Jets. Well retained, and they're now a defender out in that situation, the Jets. Harter gets back across. Mavericks goal scorer Weiner. Looking for the run of Owen, but again, just forcing it into the middle. There's very rarely been that option to, to play that pass into the middle. I think they've had much better success looking to drive to goal from that sort of range.
Good long clear from Chandler that found Gray, and Harper moved it forward, and now the Jets are in the attacking area.
Yeah, she's about to pick that up. It's so great for your team when you can be able to move from defence to attack that quickly just from one long accurate pass.
I think Emily's one of those goalkeepers that sees herself as the first line of attack, so she's always looking for that long pass because she likes to feel that she's starting any fast break.
Strong save there from Land off Gray, but she's being trapped by Freya Savage in defence, but I think she's just stepped into the crease as she was defending, so Gray will get possession back.
Yeah, she's alright, yeah,
That's brought from Marina against Gray. Passes off to Savage, but that's created a little bit of space for Butcher. I think we may have a card coming here, unfortunately. Jones has took quite a whack there as she was looking to collect the feed. She wasn't getting there, but the defender came right through the back of her, and I think unfortunately rightly so, that's a yellow card.
Yeah, I think so, but it's also quite difficult when you've got smaller players playing against, because what is a blow to the head is normally just to the back of the shoulder, or so it's quite hard. That's why she's such a good player. She's so awkward to play against.
Goal there from Keely Harper. Mavericks tried to clear the ball out, didn't move it past the halfway, and it left them susceptible at the back. Gray popped off for Harper. Yeah, we've already noted in the last game on the draw how Jones's size actually worked to her advantage and created a bit of disruption, and just say up there, it's an awkward player for somebody to defend against as well.
Yeah, I think in lacrosse you've got the two extremes, you've got the taller players who are difficult to play against, but you've also got the shorter players who are difficult to play against.
And that's the half-time call.
Are you coaching?
My wife's coaching Warwick, so I support women, so it's going and beat their goals up. Do these nice. Oh, the names are Cameron, so the guys that play inside literally went to the names. Incredibly fast, incredibly physical, just not tall enough to make it into do it. No, they're all NCAA players. They'd had their careers and then did their whole year masters. I know how much cheaper it is to do a masters in the UK. It's like $50,000 a year to do it. Yeah, for 2 years. Coaching training, philosophy.
Yeah, I'm doing it 3 hours a day.
Yeah, every day at least. I'm having surgeons and physios on demand.
So the Jets hold a 4-1 lead as we look to get the third quarter underway. We just see if either side draw for their power play now.
Oh, it's like Premier League football level.
Yeah, just keeping my eye on the coaches, and I can't see anybody do anything at the moment with regards to indicating that they're going to a power play. That's not to say that they won't. They may well do that very shortly.
As you see the Jets taking it here, get the power play on while they've got the advantage. Try and seal the game from this point on.
The rain is still coming down here at Warwick, but we're looking forward to the next half of this game.
And following the conclusion of this game, we will, at about 3:15, be bringing you the Super League final between the Royals and the Storm.
It would appear that neither team are going for power play this quarter, so both leaving it to the last quarter.
Cycle there, just going against Mavericks, trying to recover the ball. They can do with clearing out this first possession, but Emily Gray pops up again on the crease. Effective area where she's picked up a couple of goals today and extends the lead to the Jets to 5-1.
Interesting that Tors Anderson is doing the draw here against Emily Gray.
Yeah, they've lost quite a few of the draws so far. Gray's sort of done a good job for the Jets, so I think they're looking for something a little bit different. It's paid off.
I was dying. This is winning on the weekend. I've never ever eaten it.
Towards Anderson with the ball, just trying to see where the space will open up.
Big possession here for the Mavericks. They need to put one on the board early now to have any chance of coming back, and I think the Jets know it as well. They're trying to play a quite aggressive defence to them. Just lacking a little bit of explosion at the moment. Just somebody to make that step, make that dodge. So we've seen from Emily Gray quite a lot in this game. She's just made that run into the centre that's created the space for the Jets. Mavericks just at the moment just lacking that a little. The attack's very spread out. There's not much coming through the middle. Anderson looks for a nice roll and is able to finish. Good finish from a tight angle.
Interesting for the Mavericks that the two main attackers are both left-handed, really. And we don't have enough left-handers in the game. You know, we went to a junior tournament not so long ago, and there was out of about 200 girls, we had 6 left-handers. You know, so if you're a youngster listening and watching this program, then work on your left hand, because we always need that balance in a team of left-handers and right-handers.
We've seen a lot of the Mavs goals have come today from that sort of that angle, where usually if you're a defender, usually if you get a right-hander in that sort of situation, you think, great, I've got them in a position that I want them. Whereas the left-handers, it creates a different angle for them and gives you options from both sides of the circle.
Vince was in the one years ago. I remember
Finish that we've seen before from Madison Jones there. Roll into the centre, totally outfoxed the defender. Acres of space opened up for the finish.
And shoots nice and well, which is quite a difficult one for the goalkeepers, particularly if it's bouncing just by their feet almost. It's almost like she's been rewarded, because she's now taking the draw as well.
Mav Jets with a healthy 6-2 advantage.
Here we go, Maddie.
Picked up by Anderson there, 3 to Wu. Wide is open, but Wu goes for the shot and scores.
And when they're on that fast break and just go direct, they look so much more effective than when they're trying to set up a balanced attack.
Just so the Mavericks are able to benefit the rules in the draw, because possession hadn't been called. The Jets defender couldn't cross the restrainer, and she wasn't able to grab the ball, and Anderson just picked it up and put the Mavericks in a good situation. But yeah, as you say, they scored a lot of their goals from drives, aggressive runs at goal. I think they need to be setting up their players a few more, to get them in some one-on-ones, try and take on their defender.
Or even turn up the pace every time when they're going down, and if it's not there, don't force it, then do your settled attack. They seem to be getting caught in no man's land at the moment between a fast break and a settled attack, and just not quite knowing what to do in between times.
3-second call against Madison Jones. And there's another for the Mavericks.
Great pass from Phyllis Stacey to Wu, who just puts that ball in the back of the net.
They've been saying they've been struggling to find that feed into the middle, and they finally got the free run, as you say, really well picked out here by Stacey. Very accurate pass, straight into the stick. Nice handling from Zimeng there. Just approached the end of the third quarter. Mavericks would love to be able to get one more before we go into the fourth.
They've actually pulled it back quite well this quarter, so if they were to get another one, that would be a real bonus for them. But Jets have got possession.
It has all been about starving the Jets of possession. The Jets look very good any time they come forward. And there is three-quarter time. Jets go in with a 6-4 lead.
And they're still in it because now that we're into the final quarter, they're both going to play their power play. So if Mavericks were to score the first goal, that would tie it up. So it's all to play for.
Yeah, the way it's working, in effect, we've now got ourselves a one-goal game.
Correct.
Because whilst the Jets lead by 2, any goal from the Mavericks is worth 2. So ultimately, yeah, it's kind of worked well for them. They've almost got a one-goal game going into the final quarter.
And that's because of that good third quarter there where they outscored Surrey Jets, I think, in that third quarter to pull it back. So great work from the Mavericks, and as I say, all to play for in this final quarter.
So we've got the final quarter here of coming up with our fourth playoff match, which will soon be followed coming up at about 3:15. The Women's Super League final between the Royals, who topped the table earlier today by winning their final game against the Mavericks, and they will be up against Storm, who are the reigning champions from 2018 and came through after a close, good victory against the Jets in their game earlier today. And I'm sure it's going to be a pretty fierce match-up as we look to decide our winners.
Both coaches have put up their power play, which we obviously expected because neither of them had played it, but just for our benefit, you can see the 2 yellow markers by each team on the side, which means that they're both playing the power play for this final quarter. Emily Chandler back on for the Jets for this final quarter. She maintains her standard throughout the previous quarters that she's played. Then it'll be quite tough for the Mavericks, I think, this final quarter.
Yeah, I think that's a bold move there from the Jets. They know that they need to get their gun keeper on for the final quarter. So the Mavericks did well in that third to pull it back.
Pretty much.
Good double team there from Mavericks. I know they both ended up on the floor, but you could see that Phyllis Stacey left Madison Jones, which is risky, but they've now got possession.
Just looked a little forced there. I don't know if the Jets defender got a touch on it. Well picked up by Weiner. So as we say, 1 goal here now for the Mavericks ties us up at 6 apiece. So they're really going to have to look to make this possession count, get their good players on the ball in the right positions, in the right situations. And here is that one, Stacey from the top. She's played all today. Good work there in covering the ball for the Mavericks, but as we saw there first hand, as we were saying, the advantages of having a keeper like Emily Chandler there. Got down well to save from Weiner and just gives her defence a little bit more confidence to push on the ball.
Mavericks still have possession. You know, they've kept possession now for about a minute and a half, and what they really need to do is make it count.
Stacey looking to drive, gets in on her man. Shooting space coming, I think. Stick around the head area. Stacey has a chance to level the match. Wide, well backed up from Anderson.
It's still in possession.
Yeah, just got away with one there, the Mavericks. Ball was pushed in hard. Foul's been called and Webber will go to the top with a free position. Definitely something good to beat Chandler. And it is.
Good goal from B. Webber there. Levels the tie.
Yeah, I think she just doesn't get rushed into shooting straight away. She takes her time as the defender comes across. She fakes, takes the step, and just creates herself a little bit more space to shoot. And for once, Chandler's beaten. Anderson there just warding the ball off for the Mavericks. Ball goes Jets. Mavericks could do with a really strong defensive possession here. There we go. Jets back in front. Annie Butcher just free on the crease.
A bit of a Macaulay Culkin there, home alone I think. Nobody near her.
She found herself free. Mavericks will be really disappointed with that. They've done real great work over the last 2 quarters to pull themselves back to all square. And just lapse on the defence.
Or like pizza like the others go.
3 minutes to go in our third, fourth playoff between the Mavericks and the Jets.
Keely Harper drawing the foul out there. Freya Savage, I think, the one that's being penalised. Keely Harper doesn't miss many of those. So they just push it out now to the 4-goal difference, or 2 goals, because we're in power play.
Yeah, not fazed by any of the on-rushing defenders, just took her shot on.
timeout to the Mavericks.
Yeah, they're forced into a timeout there, conceding 2 quick goals. Just need to regroup for this last 2 minutes.
You all, oh my god, and you're sending what we'll call it.
It's because we had a big I just was like, oh my god.
The Mavericks there now, they know it's all about ultimately first from this draw, picking up possession. The most effective getting the ball under control, getting into the sticks of their dependable players. People like Finney Stacey, I think, is going to move on to the draw to try and dictate the tempo of their attacks.
It's when it's coming off which it's an issue, but like if I scrub off, like fine, how many is it that you yeah, but it's actually not that much hard.
That's quite telling, isn't it, that the Jets gain possession.
Just had the knack in those situations of coming up with the ball when needed. And here, every loose ball, ground ball just seems to be running for the Jets now there. And there we go. Jones puts in another, and that should be game for the Jets. So whilst we say a little bit of luck, we also, it is luck, but it's not luck. The players do the work to get themselves in those positions to be able to be the first to the ground ball, be the first to the ball off the draw.
I think it was one of the great golfers of all time, Arnold Palmer, who said, you know, it's funny, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And I think that's what comes out as well. You know, the harder you work, you appear to be lucky, but you just know that you've got players in the right place to pick up any loose ball, to make sure that you've got a chance to get that possession. Just there, it was well in by the Mavericks, but they didn't quite gain that possession. And then now Jets are in ascendancy. You know, they've got the ball, they can just run the clock down.
Yeah, you look at it in an isolated scenario, and you think, well, it looks 50-50. It looks like it's anyone's ball, but however, you start to see over time that it's not, and the better teams and the better players find ways of winning those situations.
Yeah, I think they almost believe the ball's coming to them, so they're half moving to it, and as a result, they get to it first. Whereas the team that are struggling a little bit, you know, they're sort of, is that mine, isn't it? And by the time they've had that half thought, it's gone to the opposition. Good save again by Emily Chandler. She's really made a difference in this Jets team. Good move on there by Emily Gray.
Round borrowed time in the fourth. As you say, the clock is held with the officials down on pitch side. Gives Webber an opportunity. And there is the full-time whistle. So third place of the 2019 Super League goes to the Jets with a 12-6 victory over the Mavericks. It's probably well deserved there for the Jets. They were slightly unlucky, just missing out on getting to the final against the Storm, and they've put up a good performance there.
Yeah, I think whilst the Mavericks have improved today, the Jets have been consistently better over the course of the 2 days, and certainly they've got more strength in depth, and therefore, you know, that's the right result, I think, on the balance of what we've seen over the two days.
They also performed very well in the six-a-side earlier this morning. I think they took 5 points, which was the most that any team took. So they've, although they're going to come in third, they'll probably be, quite pleased with how they've performed this Super League. We've seen some performances from some good young players in that side that will only improve over time. Yeah,
and interesting because they'll be competing against each other, because Madison Jones is obviously will be in the Welsh under-19 team, and there are some England under-19 players there as well. So it'll be really fun to see them competing against each other this coming summer in Canada.
So there we have it. Surrey Jets picking up the 12-6 victory, and in just over 10 minutes time we'll be getting underway with our final game of the 2019 Super League between the Royals and the Storm. So we'll be back with you shortly before the start of that game. Welcome back to the University of Warwick as you join us for the conclusion of the Women's Super League for 2019. We have the final coming up now between the Royals and the Storm.
And then we have a retake because the ball didn't go above shoulder height. So for anybody who's not familiar with the rules, that's what's happening here.
It's a redraw between Camilla Hayes for the Storm and Katie Lahovsky for the Royals. First possession, Storm. Nice check there from Claire Farriam on Zoe McRae. The Royals come up with the ball. Amy Grant-Morland holding the ball for the Royals, looking for an option to clear. It's probably going to be a theme that we're going to see here. You can see from the opening minutes it's already going to be a tense, cagey affair.
Yes, and you know, I quite like the fact that in some areas of lacrosse the goalkeeper's just not allowed to hang on to it that long because of the shot clock in the NCAA, and it can be a little bit boring when it's such a tight, cagey affair and nobody is free to receive that clear. But we're up in attack now. Katie Lahovsky to Claire Farriam. Sorry, Julie Wise makes a little mistake there, but has gained possession.
The empty check call there goes against Archer, and Royals get the chance for a possession. Izzy Yates with the ball behind, looks to feed Wise, but the pass is not on target and Zoe McRae tries to come away, but really aggressive defence there from the Royals again. We've seen as soon as the Storm get the ball, they are swarming and trying to win it back in those first 5 seconds.
Oh, good touch there by Camilla Hayes. Some tight marking going on in that defence. Just trying to stop them from getting that shot away, but in Julie Wise comes.
Lovely finish there, Julie Wise. The angle was very tight as the pass came in, but she managed to push it across Keogh into the far corner. It's an opening goal for the Royals.
And left-handed. We've already talked about that advantage of being using the left hand on that right-hand side of the goal, and there was a perfect example.
Now, we saw in our earlier games today the effectiveness of Camilla Hayes on the draw for the Storm. You know, takes the draw for the England senior team. She was a real asset for them. She nearly popped it up to herself there. Just a little bit messy on the ground ball. But we actually saw earlier today that the Jets mixed it up a bit in their game against the Storm and managed to just unsettle Camilla a little bit on the draw and managed to sort of dominate that area through the middle bit of the game. And it's an area that if the Royals are going to succeed, that they need to look to affect her game on the draw. Good first save for Grant-Morland from Hayes. Beeman can carry into the attack. Thurston straight into the stick of Keogh.
Devon Berry back to Keogh there, so trying to maintain possession but trying to create some spaces up front that they can use, and at the moment they're being tightly marked. by the Royals.
The Royals really are pushing a high defence, you know. Bar Keogh, nobody's being allowed to easily walk the ball up the field, and it pays off for them there as Watson can't take the pass from Keogh. The ball was just on the toes of Izzy Yates and she wasn't able to collect. Storm can regroup, looking for their first goal of this final. There we have it. Chess Gray levels things up. Coming round the crease, found herself free. We're level at 1-1.
Good spot from young Zoe McRae there. Saw Chess coming round and just fed it nicely into a stick.
Two very evenly matched teams in the they played each other last weekend in the tennis side. I think the Royals came out 14-12 winners in that one.
Izzy Yates behind the goal looking to create something.
Ball just crowded out, but well recovered.
Storm come away with the ball. It's scrappy at the moment, Sean. You know, I don't know whether people are just a bit nervous or whether the weather conditions being up and down and windy and rainy and now it's sunny, whether that's just messing up the play a little bit or whether, you know, they're a bit tired from playing six-a-side this morning as well.
Yeah, I can't say it's been the most fluent of opening quarters. Been lots of ground balls, lots of misplaced passes. And like you say, this is, you know, this is the end of a long day of lacrosse. It's not just this one game. They've already played another tennis-side game and the six-a-side. So, yeah, you know, legs, mental fatigue, and knowing that this is a final. This is what they've been playing for the last 2 weekends to win.
You know, and finals do funny things to people, to sportsmen and women's minds. You know, the extra pressure that's on, the extra just needing to win. And suddenly we forget the key performance elements that we're looking at, just making sure we complete passes, pick up ground balls, put shots on targets, and let's just keep it simple.
Bergfist up against Habener in defence, well seen off, and the slide gets across to Hayes. Picking up Simpson behind. Textbook Jenny Simpson goal there for the Storm.
I was just going to say, it's Simpson time. We're in the last minute of a quarter again.
Yeah, she's so good, as you say, talking about pressure moments. She's one consistently pops up. Finishes well down low. Again, earlier today, the Jets essentially face guarded Simpson for most of the match and didn't really give her much opportunity. But as we saw, whenever she did get the chance, she only really got 1 or 2 chances, but she put them away both times. And she's somebody that, well, I think if you wanted to pick yourself a fantasy team, she's probably in your attack every day.
She'd definitely be in my attack. You know, the fact that she scored in the third quarter last minute of the previous game, fourth quarter last minute, and in the first quarter of this game last minute, she pops up and she's the one that's scoring. She's such a competitor.
Good collection from the Maroki there. And drives the ball forward into attack for the Storm.
Some sharp feeding to each other by the Storm here, but the Royals are holding on.
Yeah, Storm just starting to crank things up a little bit. I think you can see they're finding each other with their passes and looking to put together something a little bit different here as we approach the end of the first quarter. And there we have it. The Royals hold out well, and Storm lead 2-1 at the end of the first quarter.
Coach Caitlin Hoffman encouraging her team to run into the huddle.
Yeah, they don't get long between the quarters, so they need to get their messages out short, sharp and quickly. I think Coach Hoffman would probably be the happier of the two coaches after the first quarter. They've probably held the majority of the possession and have looked the more threatening, although although there's only one goal difference so far.
I think you're right. I think by keeping possession and by winning the draw, that just makes a big difference. But that just then puts you in the ascendancy. I'll be very interested to see if we hold off to the fourth quarter with our power play, or whether we take a risk early on and try and put extra pressure on the opposition.
Yeah, the Royals had to defend for long periods in that quarter, but they did a fairly good job of it, getting across, consistently following their markers. But if you have to keep doing that throughout the whole game, eventually the fatigue will generally hit you at some point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and fitness is a key component of being a really top lacrosse player. You've got to have that ability to keep running all day. And actually in the middle there, Katie Lachowski is one of those players who never looks tired. She just keeps running the whole time and just looks very composed, and she's one of the good examples of what it takes to play lacrosse.
Yeah, Lachowski also very much a draw specialist, so should be giving good competition to Camilla Hayes in this matchup.
Ryan Simpson playing behind the goal.
Attempt wide from Camilla Hayes, adjudged Storm closest to the ball, so they'll retain possession. They've been really impressed with Gray so far today for the Storm. She's been a good architect for their attacks, set their team up well.
She seems to have got stronger throughout the day, so she's obviously feeling more and more comfortable with her teammates around her. You've got to remember that these girls don't play together as a unit very often, so sometimes it takes a while to just get used to where people prefer the ball to be fed to them.
Nice save down low, Grant Moreland. Storm just recycling, just moving the ball around. Everybody's keeping the ball moving. Now Simpson decides, no, we're going to set something up. Loaded the majority of their players onto the left-hand side. given up possession there. I think that's a real positive for the Royals there.
Yeah,
the Storm seemed to almost run out of ideas.
Yeah, no, they just held their nerve, didn't they? And Farham comes and takes the underarm shot almost, but just misses, but still gain possession. Izzy Yates on the ball.
Royals turn to hold possession behind. We've got Julie Wise looking for the runs. Got Edwards in there, Yates, Farham all looking to make a killer cut. Not much developing at the moment.
It's very cagey from both teams, isn't it, at present? You know, nobody quite putting their stamp on the game.
Yeah, and they tried to find Yates, but again, pass just wasn't on. Defence well on top. Farham's going to pick it up. I think she's going to have to look for something a little bit different here, I think. Two-goal lead, leading 3-1. Midway through the second quarter of the final here. Thompson versus Hayes on the draw. The Royals are penalised. More possession for the Storm. Eliza Watson. Storm go 4-1 ahead.
Good assist there from Cheshgray.
Storm are looking really good in attack at the moment. They're working all their situations very well, and the momentum certainly with them at the moment.
It is for sure, and when you think that Storm lost to Royals in one of the playoff games, this is a real turn up for them, you know, but I think they always knew that they could come back stronger, and that's what they're showing today. Camilla Hayes wins that draw and takes the ball down.
About 40 seconds left.
Goalkeeper's down. Oh, she's got up. That's good.
Yeah, Royals could really do with just holding out till half-time now, coming under intense pressure from Storm, who hold a 4-1 lead, looking for fifth. Last shot call, and there we go. They have the fifth. It's Watson again. It's a feed again from Cheshgray. It's working round the crease. Good cut from Watson to the middle, finishes past Greenwood, and that's the half-time whistle, and it's Storm 5, Royals 1. A little bit of a turn up there in the score, Jay.
Yeah, very much so. But you know, we've seen some good teamwork from the Storm, and you know, particularly those last two goals have both been assisted by Cheshgray and both finished by Eliza Watson. And I think you mentioned it earlier that they're so keen to mark out Simpson and Hayes, that you know the rest of the team are now coming to the front and making good use of ball that they're getting, and the strength in depth is coming through.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say absolutely deserved lead for the Storm. They've looked the more impressive team in general in attack and in defence.
Very much so. They've got strength at the back, you know, right from Sally Keogh right through the back to the midfield to the attack. You know, each group are playing, fulfilling the role that they're there for and making it look very, very straightforward as a unit.
So as we said, this is whilst this is the final game, we've been through 2 weekends now of a new format for the tournament. We've played the 10-a-side games in the afternoon, but we've also been playing the new Olympic 6-a-side rules that have been put together by World Lacrosse over the last sort of year. They've looked to form a new version of the game, and I believe you've, Jane, you've been on the committee that's been looking at the rules and looking at what a new format for the game could look like. How's that process been going?
Yeah, it's been a fascinating process. One of the key drivers has been to make lacrosse more watchable to those people who don't necessarily understand the game of lacrosse. So to simplify the rules and to make it a fast-scoring, all-action game where there's not much stopping and starting was fundamental to the drive of that group from World Lacrosse. And Steve Stenison has led that group really well, and we've had some great contributions from people like Dana Dobie, who most listeners will know of because she's one of the key players from the Canadian team. And it's just been a really worthwhile experience, and I think we're starting to develop a product that is very exciting to watch.
And ultimately, for us to be able to trial it today means that we're able to, you know, provide some really meaningful feedback back into that to, you know, try and craft the game the way we want it to look.
Feedback and also practice, you know, not just for our players but for coaching as well. You know, how do you play the game and what are the tactics that you use when you've only got 6 players on a pitch?
As I say, it's developed some of the other skills from some of the players. Like you say, if you've just been an attacker or defender, it's, you know, teaching you those transition skills, teaching you those other skills that you might not have to rely on too much.
That's right, and you know, it's emphasising the key defending techniques of moving your feet. You know, you've got to get your feet in the right place to make sure that you are defending well, but also the ability to create a fast break, to take the shots, and to transition, as you say. So it's still a fast-moving game. It's shorter in length, but lots happening. And still lots happening out here too, as Jenny Simpson brings the ball down for Storm. We just had a save from Sally Keogh, and but the Storm have given it away.
Yeah, Sally Keogh put a really good save there from Claire Farron. She's made a couple big saves so far that have really sort of turned the tide for her team, have broken up Royals' possession. Just noticed, I think we have both teams on power play for this third quarter. They both seem to have gone all guns here. Interesting tactics, both from the Storm to try and kill off the game and the Royals to try and swing the momentum and get themselves in front going into the fourth, which makes saves like that from Keogh even all the more valuable.
Yeah, any save in a power play is doubly welcome, but Katie Lehovsky coming in there and finding a space.
Big goal there for the Royals. That really will get their comeback moving now, closing the gap to 5-3. Just took it on herself though. I think Keogh will be a little disappointed there. It was a similar shot to the one that came in from Farham earlier, and she just couldn't quite get her feet and her stick in the right position, and it just squirmed underneath her. Well battled there off the draw from the Royals. Hannah Thurston's come up with the ball. being tightly watched by Hayes, but she just about manages to avoid the pressure.
And Hannah Thurston, you know, one of the England under-19 players who's just finished a season at Duke, you know, and she's really gained in confidence and competence because of the amount she's been playing over there.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, that's a really great move for somebody like Hannah. You know, she's, you know, at the top of the game for her age group within the English setup, but being able to go to America and just seeing a whole different level of game and different level of preparation. You know, whilst she is studying at university, you know, they're still training every single day, and to be able to benefit from that sort of level of training, level of knowledge should, you know, would benefit any of our young girls.
Yeah, I mean, you only have to see the likes of Camilla Hayes, who played over in the States, and obviously Laura Merrifield, you know, is not here today, but you know, they've played out there in NCAA, and they bring back so much more to our game because of the fact they pick up a stick every single day of the week, you know, and so they become so much more adept with stick work and with their approach to the game.
You just saw the face of Julie Wise there. That's they've just tied the game up there, the Royals, with their second power play goal, which has forced the Storm into a timeout there to try and halt the Royals' momentum.
Key time for the Storm, you know. They don't want the Royals to score again because they'll have turned around a 5-1 deficit into a lead.
Yeah, it's looking a lot different for the Royals now. In that first quarter, it was a little bit slow in attack. The options weren't really there, and they've seemed to, you know, try to keep the intensity high, taking regular shots, not letting the game drift, and it's paid off for them so far. That's the first draw without Hayes on for Storm. They went to Bergqvist, but it's not paid off for them, and Royals enjoying a really good period now.
And Storm have got to try and get possession of this ball because if not, then they'll have lost that lead that they had.
Like I say, playing, you know, 4 10-minute quarters, it's, you know, close to a full game. It's on the way, but essentially it's a quicker version, and the game can run away from you very quickly. You know, if you don't have possession of the ball for 5 minutes, you know, things can quickly have turned against you, and there's not much time for you to come back. And there we go. Julie Wise again gets a second power play goal, and the Royals have turned it round on the Storm. They lead 7-5.
That's an incredible turnaround from 5-1 down. They're now 7-5 in the lead.
As we just mentioned there, that was Hannah Thurston just working the ball behind, picking out Julie Wise, and she's really come to the fore there with 2 really crucial goals, and pressure's back on the Storm.
So in actual fact, it's 6 goals in 6 minutes.
Vital that Storm win the ball here and just able to curb the tide. As I say, they don't want to give up another goal to the Royals in this power play. I mean, if they were to go in 9-5 at the end of the third, you'd almost say there'd be no coming back from that.
It's interesting that Bergqvist has been taking the draws because they've lost the last 3 draws, and that's making a difference. Now the Royals can dictate what's happening. They've got possession of the ball and they can just swing it around, and there's another one, but a good save by Kia.
Yeah, Farham v Kia there, that was a strong matchup. Farham looking for the fakes, but Keogh not getting sold and coming up with the big save, but foul's gone against, and it's a free position. Possession is key here now for the Royals. They won't want to give the ball up easy. They won't want to give the Storm a chance to go and get a power play goal. They want to see this out, take good percentage shots, make sure they've got players backing up to retain possession, and just make the Storm work. And there we go, lovely play from the Royals. England international Claire Farron there, charging through the middle. Lachowski just popped it up, and there we go, it opened up for Hayes had just moved across to try and help out with marking Lachowski, and she neglected Farron a bit, and she just came through on her inside to score.
We've gone back to Camilla Hayes now and Katie Lachowski in the draw. But yet again, the Royals have gained possession. Storm have lost this quarter on the draw. You know that they haven't gained possession, and that's made a massive difference.
Yeah, it's really worrying, and whatever they've tried has just not worked out for them. They've not even been able, to force any loose ball, scrappy ball. The balls, been won fairly confidently by the Royals, and they're making it pay.
A good interception by Hayes, who then drops the ball. It's amazing how confident some players can look when they're winning, and how poor it can go when it's not going your way. And again, we've thrown the ball away. So from being very confident in the first 2 quarters, Storm have looked quite mediocre in this third quarter.
Yeah, they've just not been able to get the ball up to their attack simply. They've, even Thompson just pushing. Do you see, even when, they've managed to force an error from the Royals, they've not been good in transition, they've not worked the ball well. And the Royals just look first to the ball all over the pitch. To enter the last 30 seconds, as we say, both teams in their power play. Storm have had a shutout quarter during their power play. But Farron's given up the ball, and now Storm will have around 20 seconds to break up the pitch and try and get a power play goal that would pull them back in to touch with the Royals. But it's an errant pass from Oakley, and it goes long. You can see she's upset with herself there, that pass from Oakley. She knew that was a really important moment for the Storm, and Simpson's trying to force something here. It's the end of the third, and the Royals lead 9-5.
Wow. From 5-1 up, they're now 5-9 down.
And that is what we've seen, we talk about these little extra rules in the games that, just create a little bit more tension, a bit more, something for the players to think about, whilst they're just, playing a game and, there's the tension of a final in itself, these extra rules, extra little incentives that can affect a player so positively or negatively, and it's, interesting to watch.
Yeah, because with the power play, basically Storm were winning by 4 goals, and Royals have just won that quarter 4-0, which has actually taken them 4 goals beyond, because for every goal in power play, that scores double. So if it wasn't for the twist of the power play, we'd be all tied up now.
Yeah, I think Storm will probably feel a little aggrieved that ultimately, as you say, they've both scored the same amount of goals, they've both done the same amount of work, but it's doing it at the right time, at the moments that count and the moments that matter, that have seen the Royals take this 4-goal lead. So what can the Storm possibly look to do now in this last 10 minutes to
I think they have to play simple, effective lacrosse, and I think people often think that playing at the best lacrosse is complicated when actually it's simple, and the more simple you can make it, the more dynamic and decisive you can make it, the more successful you are. So it's a question of making sure that the passes are made to the right person cutting, that the choices of shots are taken at the right time, that they don't just give away easy ball, they don't make any simple errors, any ground ball, they've got to pick it up. Fundamentally, they've got to win the draw, because they didn't win many draws in that last quarter, and that's made all the difference. So the first thing they've got to concentrate on is making sure they gain possession from the draw.
Yeah, we always say at this level it's all about consistency. You know, we can see brilliant goals from all the players on the pitch, that they are all capable of producing that magic moment, but it's the ones that can do it time and time again that ultimately come out on top.
Yeah, and that's the nail on the head. Consistency is absolutely key at this level, and sadly they've had a bit up and down time in this final, where they've played very well in 2 quarters and poorly in 1 quarter, but find themselves chasing a 9-5 deficit now.
So here we go, 10 minutes left of the Women's Super League for 2019. We've got a group of players down injured in the middle, and we'll take injury stoppage.
I think 2 players from the same team took each other out there. Hayes just run into...
Yeah, Hayes, Watson, Farham all ended up in a heap, and as a result we have possession to the Royals, I think, out wide. How long do we think the Storm can allow the Royals to just hold possession like this and just work it around?
I think, you know, certainly after 4 minutes you'd be thinking about sort of you've got to be double teaming them. You know, you need 4 goals, so you've got to get that possession.
Really,
you
big
might as
play
well
there from
lose
Keogh.
by another 2 as not even try to get that possession back.
Really big play from Keogh there with the interception, and has set the Storm into their first attack for the last sort of 10 minutes.
And it's key now that they finish this one off to just start that challenge back. But that one was saved by Katie Greenwood, ball bouncing around, and Camilla Hayes has it.
Call goes Storm way there. They'll retain possession, and yeah, as you say, really need to look to get a score off this possession.
Whilst Storm are maintaining possession, they've got to try and make it count, because the clock is running down, and so the Royal will be quite happy that they're not taking quick, easy shots, and that they're having to work hard to try and get a shot away. But there's a shot away, but saved by Katie Greenwood.
Stellar save there from Katie Greenwood, point blank. I think that was Zoe Dixon coming through the middle, right on top of the crease, and Greenwood, I think that's probably, you know, that's a game-changing save, that is. Look at that, great pick out the top.
Yeah, Farham on the ball, just taking her time.
Yeah, Coach Hoffman encouraging her team to come forward to their players. Don't let them just hold the ball, make them keep moving it. And there we go. Ooh.
Unlucky there from
call
Camilla
against Hayes there. I think, you know, everyone was a little bit upset that call went against her. But they're back to it, and that shows what they need to do to try and win this ball back. Izzy Yates twisting and turning behind. Good game management there.
Storm are just not getting near regaining
Royals,
possession.
Yeah, Royals are really in possession mode now. You can see that whilst they're doing well in keeping the ball moving, they're not being too static, but they aren't really actually looking for any goal-scoring attempt. They're just asking the Storm to come in, come and try and take the ball off them, and then that's when they can pounce. Wise looks for Beeman in the middle, but she's forced out again. That's to Wise and Fareham. Good work from Peace there just to push Lahovsky off the shot. Fareham up against Watson, looking to drive in, good work. And she's drawn the foul, she'll get the free position. Really good work here from the Royals, just running down the clock but keeping the ball moving.
Yes, and it's almost impossible for the Storm, to gain possession. And if they can't do that, and if Fareham puts this one away, it's going to be very difficult. And there's the goal.
Lovely goal there from the Royals. 10-5 lead. And after that goal, Coach Nelson Lee's taken the timeout. Probably just to praise her team there for that good little 5-minute spell.
Yeah, I think Nelson Lee will be very happy with the way that the Royals have come back from that first half of the game, because they've definitely been the better team in the second half.
Yeah, it's really clutch time now for the Storm. They're just going to have to throw caution to the wind, look to get some quick wins and see what kind of pressure they can put the Royals under. But 5-goal deficit, 4.5 on the clock, it's not looking too good for them.
Well, if they do that, it's going to be a great end to the game. So, keep watching, because if they start to pull it back, that will be something to see.
They're actually thinking back to the game between the two sides last week, which Royals came through 14-12, I think it was. Royals actually led 14-8 at one stage, I think, and Storm were actually on their power play in that last quarter, and they scored 2 goals in the last sort of 90 seconds, and it all got a bit frantic and fraught for the last 30. So I'm sure the Storm would like to see a repeat of that.
Yeah, sadly they've used their power play, so that's not going to happen this time round. But they've still got they've got some experienced players who could easily score goals if they've got possession of the ball. But at the moment, possession is sadly lacking for them. Royals are playing very well. They've got to try and double team some of these players just to get possession of the ball, and at the moment they're not getting close.
I think they're looking to say Royals are moving so well that they're not giving the option, or just off the top of the bar from Beeman. The Royals are not giving the chance for the Storm to double team, because they're moving the ball so quickly that they can't manage to get that sort of pressure on them.
And as every second ticks down, then it's becoming more and more unlikely. Hannah Thurston in there, and a great goal.
Great finish from Hannah Thurston there, extending the Royals' lead. They're looking really impressive now. And it looks like the Super League crown could be going to the Royals for the very first time.
I think highly likely at this stage, and it's they've certainly, after the first half, where they were pretty mediocre in the first half, suddenly they've turned up to the party, and they've done more than turn up. They're dominating.
Yeah, they've been leading the way all the way through the Super League, really. They've put up some really good, energetic, balanced performances, and I think they've got, a lot of players that really suit this new sort of modern fast tennis-side game.
Yes, for certain, and they did quite well in the sixer side as well, and another powerful shot there from Katie Lehovsky, fed by Claire Farron.
Really great to be able to watch that sort of action there. You can see that the Royals are starting to enjoy themselves now. So as we move into the last 90 seconds here of Women's Super League for 2019, just like to remind you of our next chance for you to watch some top international women's lacrosse. We've got coming up on the weekend of the 28th, 29th, 30th of June. The England senior women are going to be taking on a US lacrosse WPLL touring side that are going to be visiting across that weekend to take on our senior squad as they prepare for the European Championships. I'm sure we're looking forward to watching that, Jane.
Very much so. We've got to keep challenging ourselves as much as possible with good opposition, and the US WPLL is just the type of opposition that we need. They'll bring some really star players over, and it'll be great entertainment. So if anybody can get down to Aldershot to watch in person, that's number one preference. But if not, then to join us on the YouTube channel, then that's probably the next best thing.
Yeah, tickets are on sale now through the England Lacrosse website. You'll be able to find all the details there. You'll be able to watch some of the talent we've been able to watch this weekend. Storm with some possession to end this match, but unfortunately they're unable to find the goal, and there we have it. The Royals are our 2019 Women's Super League champions, coming out victorious 11-5 in our final against the Storm. They take the Storm's crown, and the Royals will be our 2019 champions.
Yes, well played to the Storm. To the Royals. They definitely deserve that. I thought the Storm did well in the first half and really gave them a tough competition, but they were no match for the Royals in the second half, where the power play quarter really changed that game around big time, from a 1-5 down to 9-5 up. Just made all the difference.
Yeah, really enjoyable final, as I say, lots to get excited about, and I think it's been a really enjoyable 2 weekends. Like I say, to be able to watch lacrosse of this standard in England and the UK, is not something that we get very often. So I think events like this and tournaments like this are just crucial for our development of the game in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a fast-moving, fluent, athletic game that shows all the finesse and power that you would want to see in any top-level sport. And to have this showcase like this is just exactly what we need, so that people can see the absolute joys of top-class women's lacrosse.
Well, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable day here at the University of Warwick. I hope you've enjoyed watching wherever you are in the world, and congratulations to the Royals, who are our 2019 champions. So you'll be able to catch us again, as I say, over that last weekend in June, where England will take on that US touring side. We hope that you can join us either in Aldershot or online to watch that one, and see you again soon.